One.
Hey everybody, we're back on the Chromebook for Beginners coding channel. Checking out DevIcon website. I can't get over this. This site is so cool. Just really, this is like nice. This is just like how I want to make websites. It just has a nice look to it. It's weird though. It's like green, but it's just well put together, Really easy to use, searchable, and just like walks you through what to do. Um, Made by Compa under MIT license. Really, really cool. You get like a little transition. These things kind of swap when you highlight it, and it flips, it inverses the color, and everything is just uniform. And what happened before was my fault. I when I labeled the column, I put SL instead of S1, so it didn't render it right. Once I figured that out, it went back. It went to normal size. I've also added a JavaScript icon as well. And I was thinking I was going to mess with the colors of these, and I still might. I might make them all the same color, or I might make different colors. I don't know. Excuse me. But with the materialized column layout, it's easy to line them all up in a row, just like Bootstrap has. And then I like this. I can't believe it. CSS3. Wait, did I put CSS3 in there? I did. Okay. And DevIcon has its own icon. Maybe I'll put that in there too. More icons. Oh, there's D3. I know how to use that. But I mean, look at all these things you can learn. Drupal. That guy looks pretty cool. I have no idea what Drupal does. Facebook. Which I'm knowing less and less about. I hardly go on that. Oh, Google. I will throw that one in there. Adobe Illustrator, Inkscape, jQuery. That one's going in for sure. I guess I don't want to overdo it though. I mean, that whole page is going to be just icons, but I want to learn React, Sass. I should learn something like that. Anyway, check this site out. This site is really cool if you want to throw in icons. I love all the different formats that they let you throw down in. It's really cool. You can do whatever format you like. Oh, here we go. Chrome. Yeah, that's going in there for sure. That's my shiznit right there. But as promised, little JavaScript. So you'll notice, if you haven't seen the other two videos, I'll turn the sound on real quick. This was a neat little trick. And I'm a beginner, so I'll show you how I did it, but there's probably better ways. But this is what happens when you load the page. It types out aspiring web developer. I don't know if that's the final thing I'm going to have it type, but that's what it's typing now. Ideally, it would type experienced web developer or awesome web developer or something like that. And this picture is going to be different, and I like my mission statements, and this is going to be different. But I'll show you the JavaScript to do that, to type stuff out. Let's see. It's not that hard. All I did was, and like I said, I'm sure there's an easier way to do it, and a better way to do it. But this is what I did. I made an array, and I just put in the letters, each letter, and then I put in like a double space, just like space in the space, and it's actually like just an empty spot in the array. It's an empty string taking up a spot in the array. And then, well, let's see, then I made a variable for the H, it's like an H2 tag or something. And then I set another variable I just called BioI, just because the way this is set up, I didn't want to just call it lowercase I, because I might use that lowercase I for something else. And then I made a function and assigned it to the name BioSubWrite and used setInterval, which calls a function. It takes two parameters, the function and the time. So I set it to every half second to fire off this function. And all this function is an if statement. It's a loop that I made without using for a while. It's just a loop customized function or whatever. So it says if BioSubArray for BioI, which is set to 0, isn't undefined, execute this code. That's to get it to stop once it hits the end of the array. Otherwise, it'll just say undefined, undefined, undefined across your screen. So then I just used append, because it'll keep adding it on. If you use .html or inner HTML or whatever, text, whatever the other ones are, it'll replace every time you want it to append. So it's appending the array index of starting at 0, but then since it's a set interval, it's a loop. So it's going to play the sound, which I have here is a new audio and the blah blah, and then every loop it's going to add 1 to your BioI. And then if the else statement is if it finds something undefined, which happens when it tries to look for it'll try to look for a number that's not in here, whatever this length is, 27, say, whatever it is, it'll get back undefined and it'll run the clear interval. And it's as simple as that. And I can make it, let's experiment. Make it fire off at 50. So it's going to fire off at 50 out of 1,000. So that's what, like, I don't know, 500. It's going to be fast, however you want to say it. It only had time. It only had time for one click sound. And alternatively, we can make it fire off, say, every 2 seconds with 2,000. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe I'll do that just so people are forced to pay attention to it. What did I have it on? 500? We'll go to 750. I wonder if it'll fire. No, it'll literally say non-breaking space if I put a non-breaking space in there, I think. But anyway, that's how I did it. I'm sure there's other ways to do it. Like I said, that's the beauty of JavaScript, is that there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. And this is my I didn't look up anything on. This is just what I came up with off the cuff. So thanks for watching. Laters.